Hi, I'm Chris McCoy. Welcome to the Memphis Flyer podcast. Every week we hop on here to tell you what's going on in the paper and what's going on in Memphis. And this week I have a very special guest. Yeah, that's IMAKEMADBEATS right here from Unapologetic. We're going to talk to him in just a minute about all the stuff that he's got coming up. But I want to tell you all about our cover story first by Alex Green, our music writer. It's about Dr. Ollie Liddell and the story of the great triumph of the Central High School band, jazz band, who went up to New York City to Lincoln Center and won the competition. They are officially the best high school jazz band in the world.
Let's go.
The world.
Let's go.
So yes, please check that out because it is a great story and a great Memphis story and an extremely well-written story by Alex, too. So that's going to be fun. You can pick those up in one of our boxes. We got 300 boxes around town or so. I had to pull one out of traffic the other day. Yeah. Daniel, who is our engineer here, Daniel Lynn, calls me and he's like, "I'm on Union Avenue. There's a box in the middle of the street. You got to come and grab it." And I was like, I was editing the podcast from last week.
Yeah.
And I was like, so I had to jump up and run over there and pull it out of traffic. So this is the level of care that we bring you, our public, the Memphis Flyer here. But I got Matt here on the line. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man. I'm anxious and I'm ready for this celebration on Saturday, man.
Right.
Yeah.
10 years of Unapologetic.
Yeah, man. 10 years. Sometimes I'm not sure if it's been 1 year or 30 years.
Yeah.
It feels like I grew up repping Unapologetic. But yeah, man, 10 years. It's something special, and I think that we got to celebrate it.
So I had to tell this story for you, so you need to tell a story for me this time.
Yeah.
Because 10 years ago, when the way we met was he sent me a mask, right?
I did. I'm from a school of thought where, I'll just say this. I've rarely gotten into a place by going through the front door. Today, y'all let me in through the front door. That was great. But most of the time, anytime they say, hey, if you want to do X, do Y. Every time I do Y, that doesn't work, right? Mm-hmm. So I have to come up with an alternative method, climbing through a window or maybe going through the chimney or something like that. And so, when I was dropping Better Left Unsaid, which was the very first project ever created underneath the umbrella of Unapologetic, I knew that I wanted media attention. I'm gonna tell you something, Chris, and I don't think I've ever told you this. Like, so many artists come from Memphis or cities like Memphis, mm-hmm. and they feel like, man, I'm gonna be more appreciated abroad than I am at home, right? When we started Unapologetic, I told myself, I don't want that. Mm-hmm. Like, I want to be appreciated at home, right? Like, I don't want to go somewhere else and they know me and I walk down the street in Memphis and nobody has ever heard of me. So it was very important to get local media to understand this umbrella that was Unapologetic. And so, after sending a few emails and things like that, and then recognizing, hey, James, this never works out for you because you're not a front door guy. I thought to myself, all right, let's try something different. I had 9 of those masks at the time. Now I have 20 something, right?
Yeah.
I had 9 of those masks. And I just remember thinking to myself, I'm going to put a mask and a comic book and a USB drive shaped like my mask with all of my music in a box and just bring it to the flyer and see what happens, And sure enough, I get a phone call from you or an email. I can't remember which one.
It was an email.
It was an email. Okay. Yeah. And you're like, hey, let's talk.
It was like a week. It was literally a week, right?
Yeah,
Something like that. Yeah, because we get a lot of come-ons. I get a lot of emails and stuff all the time. Yeah. And just various swag. So, I'm the film and TV editor. So every year around when it gets to be Oscar season, in the fall, all of a sudden, I get packages of stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But that was the best swag I ever got. And we still have I still have the mask, and it's I've had a couple of unapologetic people tell me, it's like, oh, you got one of the good ones.
Yeah. There are different tiers of them. You got one of the OG. I think that one came straight from Venice, because that's where I had the original ones made.
From Venice?
Yeah.
Italy? Mm-hmm. Well, I'm going to Venice, Italy. Do you know this?
I did not know this. Oh, we did.
Yeah, we talked about it. My wife edited Robert Gordon's new film, Newport and the Great Folk Dream, and Daniel, Daniel keeps coming up.
Big shout out Daniel.
Big shout out to Daniel. He did some work on it too. Did some sound design work on it too. But they got in the Venice Film Festival. That's where it's going to have its world premiere in the first week of September, and it's just terrifying, but great though. It's just like, the movie is great. I can't wait for everybody to see it. But we're not talking about that though. I didn't believe you had those masks made in Venice. That's insane.
Yeah, man. I couldn't find anything stateside to fit my vision, and I ended up. I'm gonna send you the picture. It was this gray-haired white guy wearing my mask, and he sent me a picture of himself wearing it and said, "Hey, is this good?" I was like, "That's it. That's the mask." Like, yeah.
Oh man, that's amazing. So what was the original concept for Unapologetic? It's grown into this layered organization. But what were you thinking? What were you thinking, man?
Yeah. Man, I had a lot of thoughts, man, and thankfully, there is this human database named Kid Maestro who was there early on to hear me say all these things and remind me of these things years and years later. But I remember telling myself I wanted to start a label. And after I did that, I swear, just ideas just started to fall out of me, right? Every day I was just consumed by everything from statements like character over everything, where vulnerability becomes art and weird becomes genius, writing mission statements for us. What do we stand for? Why, right? The pillars that we represent, right? And then that's what I realized, I'm just calling this a record label just so that people have a familiar term to grab onto, right? Because I don't even know what to call this thing. This thing is like an ecosystem of creativity. And the general idea was just that I believe that authenticity trumps everything. That sincerity and authenticity is the number one thing people want to see in an artist. Mm-hmm. And that if you can help people be authentically themselves, sincerely, right, you can create art that is both great art and economically viable. It can make money, right? So we can build a business off this, and we can express ourselves in a cathartic way, in a way that we've never been allowed to in other spaces in our lives, right? And I didn't want to limit that to music. We pulled in and signed videographers, photographers, garment makers. We had a full ecosystem of creativity. That was the original idea. It's still that. Adding on, now we have outer space, a studio. I think now we're at a point where we've refined the idea of Unapologetic in a way that allows for brand partnerships that we never even dreamed of, man. Organizations who also want authenticity and sincerity and to be connected with artists dedicated to that have found themselves partnering with us in wild ways we never dreamed of, and that's, we continue to do that. We continue to find new artists who are willing, as I told you this a million times, our genre is sincerity and vulnerability. This is why we have an indie folk artist named Aaron James, all the way to a folk country artist named Nubia, all the way to a punk rapper named Offam, all the way to, two producers, artists named IMAKEMADBEATS and Kid Maestro, right? Is because the theme throughout the entire label is how you be.
Don't forget Pro.
And Pro, I can't forget Pro. Meeting Pro, I mean, sometimes I wonder if I would have ever even started, Unapologetic if I had never met Pro. Pro's the very first artist I met when I came back to Memphis that really showed me that something different was happening here than when I grew up here. When I grew up here, man, and I was listening to all of it. I was a fan of all of it, but most of the rap that I came across coming out of Memphis at that time was gangster. You know what I'm saying? It was gangster. You know what I'm saying? And I had all the tapes and CDs. I was with it, you know. But when I came back, the very first artist showcase I went to, Pro was performing. It was Pro and Cities of Eve, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And I just remember watching those two and just being like, yo, this is crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love this. And, you know, I hit up Pro and I met him and I met with him. I said, hey, man, we got to get together one day. And one day he called me and said, hey, he wanted to come to the lab, but he needed a ride to the studio, right? I said, okay, cool, I'll come and pick you up. I'll never forget this. This moment is straight out of a movie. It really was, man. This was 10 plus years ago. So this is when I had the radio in my car with the USB slot on it, right? So you could put in the flash drive and listen to your music. And Pro's like, yo, I want to play something for you. I want you to hear a song I'm working on. I said, okay, cool. So he plugs in this USB thing. I'm thinking I'm just about to play the song. It's just the instrumental. Pro performs the whole song from my passenger seat in my Saab. Now, when I say perform, I'm not saying he rapped and did the hook. I mean, he performed it. Like, he might as well have been on stage and there was 600 people in the crowd. Complete, like, flawless, going from the verse to the hook, ad-libs, all the way. The song was fading out and he was whispering the delay as it fade out, right? And I just remember driving like, oh yeah, okay, all right. We got something with this guy, you know what I'm saying? And we've been brothers ever since.
Man.
Yeah.
So Saturday, right, is the big show, the 10th anniversary celebration, going to be down at the Ravine. Is that what it got?
Yeah. Down at the Memphis Made Brewery, the Ravine. It's going to be an interesting evening, to say the least. 5 hours from 5 to 10. The first half of it is just going to be a party with a whole bunch of food, carnival games, music, of course, and some unexpected cool things, you know what I'm saying? It's just going to be a big party. For those who don't know, Unapologetic started with a party. There was a party at my house. I invited about 50 or 60 people. About 200 plus people showed up. It was ridiculous. Whole block was crazy. You had to park blocks away to get to my house. And so we wanted to do the same. We just wanted to have a party. So the first half of it is that times 17. It's a big party. The second half of it is performance, right? It's when we get to do what we do best. And I'll tell y'all straight up, we're telling the story of how Unapologetic was created in reverse. So our very first performer will be the latest artist we've signed.
Ah, excellent.
Right? And the last performance will be me. Probably trying to show me in a room saying, I think I want to start a label. Like, and that'll be the end. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, awesome. Well, I can't wait. My favorite Mad story, which I know that you've heard 100 times, but for me, because I always tell it, is y'all were playing at Rail Garden a while back, and it's been a couple years.
Yeah.
And like there was a bunch of stuff on the main stage, and then you and Kid Maestro did a DJ set.
I'm so glad you brought this up.
From the top of the like everybody was on the stage and everybody turned around behind them from the top of like they had these shipping containers there.
Yep.
And y'all did this DJ set and I stood there and just with my mouth like the whole time. And then when y'all were done and I turned to LJ, my wife, and I was like, they just started. Like what? Like and she was like, they've been going for more than an hour, honey. I was like, why are they stopping? But anyways, Memphis Made on Saturday night. It's gonna be the biggest party in town, and thank you so much for coming on today.
Man, I had to, man. Thank you for having me.
Hey,
always, man.
Don't be a stranger. We're gonna do this again.
Let's do it.
We're going to do it again, for sure.
For sure.
This has been the Memphis Flyer Podcast. I'm Chris. This is I Make Mad Beats. And we will see you next week with more stuff.
Peace.